Good morning. It's 13 minutes past 11 now. Universities in England have been told to step up efforts to prevent student suicides in a review commissioned by the Department for Education. The review revealed that 169 students across 73 universities died by suicide or experienced serious self-harm in just one academic year. As the mother of two children, these figures terrify me. Nearly half of those students had known mental health conditions, with a review also showing first year and international students are amongst the most at risk. Well, several universities across the UK have already implemented the Ripple tool. Now, this is a pop-up that redirects people to helpful resources when harmful content appears on their internet browser. Seems very clever, doesn't it? I'm joined now by Sam Smith, who's a former police officer and educational advocate, and now the development manager at Ripple. Sam, thank you so much for joining us this morning. These figures sound terrifying to me. Are they alarming figures, or is this sort of the norm at the moment?
I mean, thank you for having me on. It's great to speak to you, but sadly, it really is quite alarming, but also quite normal. Obviously, to many people, they'll be highly shocked at these statistics, but being in the background, I working within the charity Ripple, we are fully aware of these horrific statistics. And that's why we're doing so much to advocate and support the education sector in trying to reduce and prevent these suicides in the first place.
Now, even the fact that we're talking about this is good. Obviously, we knew you were going to be on the show, so I was having a chat with the producers beforehand, and we were all talking about the fact, I mean, it's been a while since I was at university, Sam, if I'm honest. It's been a good sort of 20 years, but I don't remember any kind of pastoral care or any conversations about our mental health or anything like that. So the fact that these things are now being talked about, and there are things like Ripple that can be used at university. It pleases me. Obviously, these figures don't please me because I find them absolutely shocking. But what is it that Ripple does? What is it that you do?
So the Ripple tool is a very simple tool, and it is perfect for our younger generation who are going to be absolutely basing a lot of their lives and studies online. So a really quick history to how Ripple came about. Our wonderful founder, Alice Hendy, sadly lost her own brother, Josh, to suicide back in 2020. Alice actually came from a tech background, and the whole family were absolutely shocked when they lost Josh, as most people would be when they lose their loved one, but they had no idea that he'd been feeling quite this way. So Alice, within her grieving, started to look up and Josh's devices, and she'd seen he'd been heavily looking at very, very harmful content online, and this content was around suicide, self-harm. There was literally people goading and encouraging him to take his life. Unfortunately, with suicide, once you've gone ahead with it and you have then died by suicide, there's no way back, and that's the really, truly awful thing about this way of dying. So what Alice realised is not enough was being done, and there was not enough hope and support at that point where someone was struggling. So the Ripple tool was designed that it recognises when someone, and this could be a student, it could be a teacher, professor, it doesn't matter who it is, someone is looking for harmful content, potentially in the view that they may harm themselves or look to take their life. And then what it does is it rediverts firstly to our message of hope. It gives that gentle pause and guidance, but then to some fantastic signposting and some amazing resources. We work with countries all over the world, but in the UK, we are very, very privileged to have some amazing charitable resources, national funded resources that are there to literally save lives. We want to, at Ripple, make sure the people in their time of need are getting to those resources, and then they're having that future that they deserve.
And are you finding a lot of universities are taking this tool up and implementing it for their students?
It's definitely been a really nice uptake within the universities. An exact number is probably not quite known to us, because some universities can even take this tool from us without telling us, because it is free to download. But we are aware of over 50 UK universities using it, but we also have some overseas too. We have, over 160 universities in the UK, so it is really important we see more. And that's what I really would say is consistency. When you've got resources like Ripple, which are there purely to help students, purely to help staff, and don't cost a penny because it's free for the browser extension to be deployed across all managed devices in a university. We really would hope to see, the majority, if not all universities using.
I mean, to me, it's just having this chat with you now, Sam. It seems a no-brainer to have this within your university. Is it something as well that's just for universities, or could you have this on your home computers? Because I know there'll be a lot of people who are listening, with kids of around that age, and mine is still little, but, they're going to get to this age, and it's terrifying, and you want to do everything you can to help your kids.
Yeah, so this tool is actually for absolutely anyone. We've got the likes of massive UK football clubs and football stadiums using it across their Wi-Fi. Wow. We've got global companies using it for their staff. It doesn't matter whether it's hospitality, construction, you can have this tool if you have a device that can take it. My role within the charity is to really push and help our student population and our teachers, to be honest. So it doesn't matter if you're in a primary school all the way up to higher education, university, you can have this tool. I mean, the statistics are showing that between the ages of 5 and 35, suicide is the single largest loss of life to that age group. It really shows you how important this is. And people just don't realise that.
And why do you think it is, Sam, that the number of students affected by suicide and self-harm is rising?
I think it's partly because of the actual electronic world we live in. We're much more closer to information than we used to be. There's that phrase, ignorance is bliss. And as an ex-police officer, I really got that phrase after working in the police, because suddenly you're surrounded, when you work in the police, in very sort of hostile and quite sad environments a lot of the time. But we as a general population now, we're very exposed to a lot of sadness and tension across the world, whether that be worldly conflicts or political matters. There's a lot of negativity being thrown on us, but there's also a huge amount of pressure on people, especially students, to get that job or to be successful, to be the next big thing. And I think it's a big sort of sense of you must achieve that is really hard to get away from. And I think sometimes we just need to teach everyone just to learn to love and be themselves, and that's kind of going away a little bit. We're also almost competitive. That it's really growing that culture of I guess pressure and leading people to think they don't deserve to be here. I
think you're absolutely right, Sam. How can people access Ripple?
Ripple is really easy to access. You can go onto our website and just search in Google Ripple Suicide Prevention Charity. You'll find us. On our first front page, you can download the Ripple tool onto your home computer. So if you have young children, or actually anyone can have this, it's not just for young children, download it on your PC or laptop, because it might be that you downloaded it for your son, but actually it helped your husband or anyone else within the family. It's free to deploy to any device. If you're a school, you can again get in touch through our education part of our website, or of course they can reach out to myself. And I will support any school, college, university with the mass deployment of this tool. And guaranteed, if it's on your devices across your organisation, it is going to help someone, and it could save a life.
Sam Smith, thank you so much for joining us this morning. A former police officer and education advocate, now development manager at Ripple, a suicide prevention charity. And if you've been affected by any of the issues we've talked about this morning, a list of organisations offering help and support, it's available anytime on the BBC Action Line website. Just search bbc.co.uk/action.